Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Christian Hanna Horror. I'm back. Been busy last couple days. So I figured I've got some movies I got to get watching these next two nights. So let's do another Blu-rays I want you to own. Here's what's on the docket from the old CHH. The Borrower. This is the one of the latest from Scream Factory. Looks like it's some kind of early 90s trash, and I'm very excited about that. And I'm really excited about this a return to Salem's Lot. Now, what I'm excited about this for is mostly because it's directed by Larry Cohen. I'm a massive Larry Cohen fan, but if you know my channel, I've talked about Larry on a number of occasions. But I'm excited to see this because I love Salem's Lot, and I've heard very bad things about this. Quite frankly, when people start crapping on movies, I can't wait to see them. So, Return to Salem's Lot, this looks, I don't know, the back looks amazing. So, I don't know, we'll see. But I'm definitely going to watch and review one of these. So let's get started. This is Horror Blu-rays I Want You to Own volume. I think this is 15, 14 or 15. I figured let's just go ahead and knock out another one. Let's start out with a Full Moon Blu-ray, but it's not from Full Moon, it's from Empire, more or less. Creepazoids. Now, this movie is great. Linnea Quigley's in it, so there, right there. A lot of you are going to be like, okay, cool. An ex-military, renegade group are attacked by monsters and creatures for an hour and a half. I mean, it's basically what Creepazoids is, and it's really amazing. The effects work in this is really cool. Some of the designs of the killer, like monsters, are really cool, and it's got Linnea Quigley in it, and she's great. It's a really fun 80s apocalyptic type movie. And it's just got that flavor, man. Like, it's just got that flavor that I love so much. That 80s Charles Band world feel. It's really cool. I mean, Creepazoids is really freaking awesome. I love this movie. This Blu-ray is great from Full Moon. If you want to get this, go to fullmoondirect.com or check some of the other Blu-ray websites. You can find it pretty easily. But Creepazoids, man, you can't go wrong. It's really good. I love Creepazoids. One of my faves. All right, the next one is a movie that scared the absolute crap out of me. I loved this movie. I needed to review it, but I figured, you know what? Let's put it in a horror Blu-rays because that's the goal, because I want you people to enjoy these films. This movie was amazing. This is from Scream Factory. It's called The Entity. Holy son of a gun. It's not for the weak at heart. First of all, I love the poster. It's just like The Entity. But this movie is not for the weak at heart. They go there. It makes movies like Paranormal Activity, quite frankly, seem tame in what these entities do. This entity ravages this poor young woman in this movie. A movie like Paranormal Activity, you know, the demon wants to take her, Katie, and kind of pulls her around and drags her. That's the extent of the physical stuff you see in the movie. This is an evil, sadistic son of a gun in this movie. The Entity is amazing. It's probably one of my favorite movies I've seen in some time, old or new, regardless. I mean, when I watched The Entity, I was like, wow, son of a gun. So this movie does not play. It may not be for everybody because it's when I'm sure you're picking up my drift when I say this demon ravages this poor young woman. I think you can imagine what I mean by that. But the performance is so exhilarating from the star of this film on what she did. Barbara Hershey, it's remarkable. My God, she deserves some kind of award. This movie's scary. The Entity is great, guys. This is from Scream Factory. Great release. Got interviews with them. Barbara Hershey, David Labiosa, the composer, Charles Bernstein, who you should recognize from Nightmare on Elm Street. Commentaries by Daniel Kremer, author of Sidney J. Fury, Life in Films, The Entity Files, interviewing an interview with the parapsychologist, Dr. Barry Taff, which I love those kinds of things. Remember on Part 7's Jason Friday the 13th DVD, they had an interview with like some kind of doctor about telekinesis. Like, I love that kind of weird stuff, so they kind of did that here. This movie does not play. The Entity, guys. Holy smokes, I loved it. All right, let's go the documentary route for this next one, guys. How about a little Just Desserts? Just Desserts is a creep show documentary, and this came out around 2007, I want to say. The Blu-ray came out in 2016, but Just Desserts, let me see if I can get it in focus. Just Desserts is really cool. Just Desserts is a very, very, very comprehensive making of with all the players from Creepshow, and it's really fun. I mean, you get to learn a lot. You get to see, the processes. You get to see the special effects. You get to see what Romero was thinking, doing, all that kind of stuff, and it's very positive and fun and in-depth. And I learned a lot. This is the definitive, Creepshow type of documentary. Sometimes I watch documentaries of films more than the films themselves, especially if I really like them. And Just Desserts is a documentary that I find myself watching more than Creepshow sometimes because it's just so fun seeing about the making of, the people involved in it. I love it. So this is a really fun documentary. It's got a lot of rewatch value. As weird as that sounds, like I rewatch documentaries like this all the time. So Just Desserts is brilliant. Definitely check this out from Synapse, the good people at Synapse Films. Just Desserts. A movie that I had no desire to want to like because for some reason, I just decided I didn't like this movie. It was one of those things. And maybe I truly, at the time, just didn't like this movie. But, time had gone on. I wouldn't watch it, but continued to say I didn't like it. Then we're at FYE a few years ago, and Cindy says, Christian, just give it a shot again. And I'm glad I did. The Craft. I really like The Craft. The Craft is a movie I dig a lot. I was unsure that I was going to want to see this movie when I bought it. I was like, I'll just put it to the side. But, eventually I decided to pull it out and watch it. And I'll be honest with you, I love The Craft. I think this movie is really, really fun, really, really entertaining. It's my favorite Nev Campbell movie by a country mile. Fairuza Balk, I'm sure I'm pronouncing her name wrong. Robin Tunney, Nev Campbell, and Rachel True. She's the star. Balk. I mean, great stuff. But this movie's really fun. I really, really, really dig it. Very entertaining. Maybe I just saw this at a bad day. I couldn't really tell you. But regardless, I love The Craft. Very entertaining. One of my favorites now from the 90s. And last but certainly not least, let's end it with a little pre-Scream 90s horror. Got to go with Brain Scan. Brain Scan is great. Brain Scan is Edward Furlong right before the drugs kicked in a negative way. Brain Scan is a very interesting, fun film with a horror mascot, if you will. I love this movie. Trickster is one of the coolest characters in a horror movie. Very, very creative character, very creepy, almost Freddy Krueger-like in his approach with this sense of humor, but still freaky looking. If he walked into your house, you'd be scared. I love this movie though. Brain Scan is kind of a smart film. I think it's a pretty smart film. Got a good shade of gray to it. It's darker than you would expect, but very entertaining. Love it. Edward Furlong is great. Brain Scan is great. When these two are together on screen, Trickster and Eddie Furlong, it's magic. So I love this film. I have to give it up for that. New audio commentaries, new debut interviews with Kevin Walker, T. Ryder Smith, who is Trickster, is in here, and other great special features. So Brain Scan is a great way to end this one, guys. So you got some great titles in there. I'm so excited for Return of Salem's Lot and The Borrower. This just looks like a trash double feature, and I love everything about this. So let me know what you guys think. Watch some of those movies. I'll have some reviews coming soon. But another horror Blu-rays I want you to own. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is Christian Hanna Horror. If you're not subbed to the channel, please sub to the channel. If you haven't liked the video, like the video. I'd appreciate it. But thank you for the support. You guys are freaking awesome. I love you. Can't wait for this Halloween season. We're pretty much getting there now. Should be going to Spirit this coming weekend and getting all my monster cereal, so expect some really cool vlogs and some reviews. So until then, this is Christian Hanna Horror. I love you guys. See you next time.